After my family went bankrupt, I was picked up by my former gloomy follower and taken to his rented apartment, delicate and pampered. I kept complaining about the food and living conditions. To support me, he worked 8 jobs a day, and the look in his eyes grew increasingly intense and unsettling. But the circumstances were still too limited, and I simply couldn't take it anymore. On the day she was about to leave in a huff, bullet comments appeared. Just go ahead. Supporting female character. You're abandoning the only one who could help you reclaim your family's assets. Later, when she found out the male lead could help her, the supporting female character shamelessly clung to him again. So stupid and pathetic, how could the male lead possibly want her back? Then she got beautifully run over by a car. Why isn't the supporting female character making a scene yet? Throw your tantrum. If it weren't for your drama, the female lead wouldn't have won the male lead's heart so quickly. The male lead may seem cold and brooding, but his narrow waist moves with such passion. I froze, staring fixedly at the words "reclaim the family property." The attendant asked coldly, "What, is today's meal not to your liking again?" The hand ready to smash the bowl withdrew as I nodded with restraint. It's just passable. Hello, everyone, welcome to my channel. Subscribe us to read wonderful novels every day. Now the story begins. To show my sincerity, I scooped a big spoonful of porridge and stuffed it into my mouth. Little did I expect that while the surface of the porridge had cooled, the bottom was still scalding hot. I winced in pain. Ollie, why didn't you let it cool before serving it to me? Tears welled up as I stuck out my scorched red tongue, glaring at him accusingly, completely forgetting the need to be nicer to Ollie in order to reclaim the family assets. Thought the female supporting character had changed her ways. But turns out she's still so dramatic. Even if she doesn't leave voluntarily, the male lead won't be able to tolerate her forever. Spotting this barrage comment, my arrogant demeanor instantly deflated considerably. Just about to dryly speak up to remedy the situation, Ollie turned away from the dining table without a word. My heart panicked, leaving me helplessly frozen in place. It wasn't until my chin was grabbed that I snapped back to reality. Ollie, a quiet yet viscous gaze fixed on a single point. I seemed to sense something and prepared to withdraw that trembling hint of pale red. As the ice cube entered my mouth, his fingertips brushed past my lips. Hold it properly. Who gave you the right to order me around? I puffed up my cheeks in annoyance but, for once, didn't argue back. Ollie didn't have much time, so he quickly made me a meal before scarfing down a few bites himself. Then he had to rush off to his next part-time job. Before leaving, Ollie stared at me intently for a long moment before saying slowly, "Wait for me." Obediently, I felt a bit guilty. If not for seeing the barrage comments, I would have already stormed off in a justified huff. Right now, sneaking away like a coward is something I'd never do. My guilty conscience became Ollie's tacit confirmation. With a dark expression, he strode over and clamped onto my wrist. "I'm not going, Caroline. Don't even think about leaving." I was on the verge of tears. Working 8 jobs and still living such a poor quality of life. How could I afford to skip an afternoon of work? "I'm not leaving, Ollie. Do you still want to buy me that bag or not? Get back to work now." Finally managed to chase him away. I collapsed onto the hard bed, thinking about having to endure such hardship in the future, and couldn't hold back my tears. Woo-woo. If I had known, I would never have gone home with Ollie that day. The first 20-something years of my life were smooth sailing. I was the apple of the eye of the Walker family, the wealthiest family. I had many followers around me, and they all flattered and indulged me. Ollie was the most taciturn and least likable one in the group. Originally, as a Walker family-sponsored student with considerable good looks, I would have been quite willing to take someone like that under my wing, but unfortunately, he didn't know how to ingratiate himself. He just stared at you silently with those eerie eyes. I felt uncomfortable under his prolonged gaze and even bullied him several times in front of many people. Later, my father went bankrupt and was framed, ending up in prison. My former follower moved into my home, and I was kicked out barefoot. So-called classmates and friends only knew how to laugh at my misfortune. The followers were even more threatened, not one daring to lend a helping hand. In the cold wind, I endured all the mockery I had never heard in my life. In my moment of panic and confusion, it was Ollie who found me. He brushed away the gravel and dust from my feet and silently carried me on his back. This gloomy and indifferent man had scorching hot palms as he gripped my thigh. I sniffled. "What are you here for? To laugh at me too," he said succinctly. "From now on, I'll take care of you." I blurted out, "Why? I treated you so badly before." I regretted saying it as soon as the words left my mouth. I was almost freezing to death when someone finally came to pick me up. Woo-woo. After a long pause, Ollie finally spoke. "It's just returning a favor. Don't overthink it." I didn't expect him to be so conscientious. Afraid of the cold, I clung tightly to his back. Ollie looks thin, but his broad shoulders shielded me completely. He carried me steadily, step by step, and an unnamed emotion began to spread in my heart. For some inexplicable reason, I felt like crying. I lifted my head and said awkwardly, "Well then, I'll temporarily allow you to take care of me," the young lady said. Only later did I come to understand that unnamed emotion should be gratitude. I hardly ever thank anyone. From the moment I was born, I could get whatever I wanted. All the good things in the world were meant to be mine. So why should I be grateful? This results in my feelings of gratitude being extremely faint. Just been picked up by Ollie for a day. I regretted it immensely, feeling like going crazy. Ollie poured water for me to drink. Me. Does toilet water become drinkable if you boil it? Ollie cooked for me. Me. Low-quality ingredients combined with your atrocious cooking skills make this the absolute worst garbage. The commotion lasted all day until bedtime at night. As soon as I lay down on the bed, I started crying. How could a bed be this hard? Ollie put everything that could be used as padding under me, but I still couldn't sleep. Tossing and turning, I finally sat up and said, "Hey, stop sleeping on the floor. Come up here." Ollie's breathing grew heavier. "Stop messing around, Caroline. How could I possibly sleep with you? Everyone calls me young miss, only Ollie refuses to." My rebellious streak grew even stronger. "I won't. I insist on using you as my human cushion." Ollie remained still and silent. I said stubbornly, "Fine, if you won't come, I won't sleep either." I sat cross-legged on the bed, determined to outlast Ollie in this battle of wills. Moonlight streamed through the window, and I caught a fleeting glimpse of struggle on his face. Finally, he compromised. "Don't move around, and of course, I won't either." Ollie instructed like this, but I had already chosen my spot, curled up skillfully, and hugged him tightly. Ollie's voice trailed off. I felt much better. Before, I used to sleep hugging my giant polar bear. Although Ollie wasn't as soft, the size was about the same. I'm in a good mood, talking to myself. Good night. Then I fell into a deep sleep. In the dream, the plush toy in my arms grew hotter and hotter, like a little stove, so warm and cozy. I held on tighter. Since then, I've been sharing a bed with Ollie. Today was no different. Ollie looked exhausted as he brought me the foot bath. "Go to bed first. I'll pour it for you after I finish showering." The barrage exploded. How shameless is this supporting female character, eating and drinking the male leads every day, yet still daring to have him pour foot wash for you. It should be the supporting female character serving the male lead by washing his feet. When will the female lead baby appear? Only the female lead baby would truly care for our male lead. It's almost time. Soon that despicable supporting female character will be waiting to be kicked out and left homeless on the streets. I'm a bit confused. Since childhood, others have always washed my feet for me, so I've grown accustomed to it. I didn't think Ollie's actions were inappropriate either. I thumped my head, remembering how I'd promised to be nicer to Ollie during the day, so I got out of bed and clumsily poured some water. The water splashed onto my hand, and I was so disgusted that I washed my hands several more times. When I returned, Ollie had just finished showering. Seeing me carrying the basin, he froze. "Why did you go to pour it yourself?" I pouted. "Just felt like it, that's all." After lying on the bed, Ollie habitually pulled me into his arms. I refused. I thought to myself, between fetching water and not letting him be a cushion, I've been good enough to him, right? This way, he probably won't drive me away. Unexpectedly, Ollie sat up with a dark expression, his gaze sinister. "What's wrong with you today? Caroline, I'm feeling extremely wronged. After being so good to him, he still snaps at me. I said angrily, I'll sleep when I want to, and not sleep when I don't. Is there a problem with that? Ollie, upon hearing this, his eyes reddened, and his expression grew even more terrifying. He tightly gripped my wrist, leaving behind a red mark. Caroline, do you think I'm a toy to be discarded at will? You guessed it, isn't he just my substitute for a polar bear? Ollie read the meaning in my expression and said through gritted teeth, what have we been all this time? What have we been? I'm no longer the young lady of the house. And he doesn't seem to qualify as my follower either, I stammered, unable to come up with a response. Ollie gave a dark chuckle, locking me in his embrace, his limbs coiled tightly around me. Caroline, whatever we are, I won't let you go now. After that day, Ollie clearly became distant towards me. He still cooked and did laundry for me as usual, working to support us, but my bowl was filled with carrots that I dislike. Even someone as slow as me could sense it. What should I do? I still need him to help me reclaim my family's property. It's all because of the barrage comments. They didn't explain how it was reclaimed, leaving me completely clueless. Every time at the dinner table, I intended to make peace. His mouth was as hard as a rock, incapable of uttering a single soft word. After waiting for several days, I finally got a chance to ease the tension between us. Watching the rain outside, a wave of joy washed over me. Ollie didn't bring the only umbrella in the house. Then I'll be merciful and deliver it for him this once. When I arrived at Ollie's workplace during this shift, I spotted him from afar. Sure enough, he was waiting under the eaves for the rain to stop. A girl stood beside him, chatting with a charmingly coquettish expression. My heart skipped a beat. The female lead appeared so early. They look so good together, so sweet. Supporting female character, know your place and don't disturb them. Our female lead has both wealth and beauty. Someone like you from a bankrupt family can't compare. My fingers gripping the umbrella handle turned white. The female lead turned out to be my former top follower Daisy. It was her father who caused my father to be imprisoned, while he himself rose to become the new richest man in City J. Daisy also revealed her true colors to me, taking everything I had and leaving me penniless as I was driven out of the villa. Why, Ollie knows I hate Daisy's family. Daisy was actually the female lead. Ha ha ha. Even the supporting female character is stunned. With such a terrible temper, did she really think the male lead would always indulge her? He probably hated her guts long ago. The female lead has arrived. The supporting character can scram now. It felt like being struck by lightning. I suddenly understood everything. Yeah, I used to bully Ollie so many times before, and even after he took me back, I kept treating him badly. He must absolutely despise me. And he said, he won't let me off. Maybe Ollie even hates me. At the thought of this possibility, I turned and ran away in a daze. Faintly, it seemed someone was calling my name, but I just kept running without a care. My heart, inexplicably, ached as if it were about to split apart. I took the bus when I came, slowly transferring several times along the way. On the way back, I took a taxi, and as soon as I got in, the heavy rain started pouring down. The taxi sped off quickly. I'll never feel sorry for Ollie and try to save him money again. When I got home, I thought about packing my bags and leaving. After sorting through everything, I realized it was all Ollie who bought them for me, holding the long-eared rabbit he bought me. My tears fell. I know he was extremely good to me, yet precisely because of this, his closeness with my enemy made me feel so much worse. Running and crying drained all my energy. Before I knew it, I fell asleep with grievances, and had a dream about a tropical rainforest, humid and stifling. The vines seemed alive, wrapping around me until I could barely breathe. I opened my eyes and met a pair of pitch-black pupils. Ollie stared at me intently. Caroline, did you come looking for me this afternoon? I was startled and instinctively denied it. I didn't. He didn't believe it, wiping away my tears with his fingers. Then why are you crying? I stammered. I miss my dad. Mentioning my father, a wave of guilt washed over me. Fortunately, I didn't throw a tantrum and leave. I must find out how to reclaim my family's property, so I can get someone to help clear my father's name. Thinking this, I clenched my fists and looked directly at Ollie. Why do you ask that? His face was filled with loneliness as he murmured, right. How could you possibly run away just because you saw me with someone else? You'd never get jealous over me. My face suddenly turned bright red. Who's getting jealous over him? I retorted loudly. Of course I didn't. Ollie looked weary and said, yeah, you didn't. Then he collapsed weakly onto me, his body burning with alarming heat. How did he suddenly develop a fever? I nervously patted his face. Ollie, are you okay? Where's the medicine? The female supporting character is truly a troublemaker. The male lead just saw a silhouette resembling hers and immediately called out her name. Searching through several streets in the rain, on top of working multiple jobs every day, even someone made of iron couldn't endure it. I thought the female supporting character would have the sense to leave, but after putting on a show of crying for a while, she still obediently stayed. Well, where else could she go without the male lead? Probably only to become a clucking hen. A pang of sorrow struck my heart. To Ollie, I was indeed a burden. In a fluster, I fed Ollie his medicine. As soon as I finished, he pulled me tightly into his embrace, pressing his feverish face against mine. Are you trying to leave again? Are you seriously thinking about this in such a state? I muttered sullenly. I'm not leaving, actually. I rarely lie. I disdain doing so, but I've already told too many lies today. What's one more? I patted Ollie's back over and over, murmuring that I wouldn't leave, promising I'd stay. Yet in my heart, a resolution took shape. Once I figure out how to reclaim the family fortune, I'll leave without taking anything. Just go. Ollie's illness struck fiercely. With recurring fevers lasting several days, he refused to go to the hospital, and I no longer had the on-call family doctor I once did. All I could do was clumsily replace damp towels for him and feed him medicine and water. Consider it repayment for his care of me before. I think so. The supporting female character has been quite virtuous these past few days. Too bad our male lead is about to make it big in a few days. Trying to act virtuous now is too late. Who would have thought that the little sidekick who used to be bullied by the supporting female character is actually the last remaining descendant of a top foreign billionaire? Our female lead really has an eye for talent, always looking out for the male lead. I was startled. No wonder the comments say Ollie is my only savior. Wealthy people abroad don't have to fear Daisy and her father's threats of retaliation. Unfortunately, just as I wanted to learn more information, the doorbell rang. When I opened the door, I saw the person I least wanted to see. Daisy smiled brightly. I came to see Ollie. You don't mind, do you? Of course not. Welcome. I rolled my eyes and was about to close the door. Daisy held me down with one hand, scanning me up and down. Miss, how did you end up in such a poor state? Her sharp manicured nails brushed against my sleeve as she laughed arrogantly. You would never have worn such cheap market goods before. Now look at me. Daisy spun around in front of me. Doesn't this look familiar? Clothes, bags, jewelry, all brand new pieces I've only worn once. I furiously snapped. Daisy, have you no shame? How dare you use my cast-offs? She watched my anger with amusement. Why shouldn't I? These are all my trophies. The thought that I took them from you thrills me to death. And what's more, I don't just want the jewelry you've worn. Ollie, you're mine too. Caught off guard, I was pushed by Daisy and fell to the ground. Daisy walked in with her head held high and declared loudly, Brother Ollie, I've come to see you. She glanced at me, smiling as she closed the door. After being locked out, at first, I couldn't believe it, then anger surged through me all at once. I stood up and banged on the door. Ollie, she locked me out. Through a door, Ollie's voice betrayed no emotion. Caroline, don't come in yet. My hand paused mid-knock. Tears welled up as I bit my pale lips and turned to gaze at the sky. Can't the supporting female lead read the room? Give us couples some private space, will you? LOL, can't handle the truth. The male lead just loves our female lead baby more. As for you, it's just repayment for a favor. Daisy didn't stay long, but every second felt like an eternity to me. When she came out, her hair was slightly disheveled and her lipstick was smudged. As she passed by me, she gave a scornful smile and whispered to me, Do you think Ollie brother will willingly take care of you for much longer? If I were you, I'd know my place and leave quickly. My nose tingled with sourness, and I almost couldn't hold back my tears, yet I still stubbornly lifted my chin. Do you think I care? There are plenty of people who want to take care of me. After saying that, I shoved her aside and slammed the door shut. Once inside, I glared fiercely at Ollie. He'd better give me an explanation. How dare he team up with that woman to bully me? Seeing he had no intention of explaining, I pressed further. What were you guys just talking about? Recalling how Daisy looked when she left just now, a wave of nausea rose in my heart. Maybe it wasn't just words, perhaps something else happened too. A shadow of gloom flashed across Ollie's face. Just some trivial matters. He changed the subject, feeling the temperature of my hand. Is it cold outside? I disgustedly shook off his hand. Maybe he had just touched Daisy, who knows? It made me sick to think about. I remembered how I used to dislike Ollie, and Daisy would always defend him. Perhaps they already liked each other back then. Birds of a feather flock together. All the care I gave Ollie before was practically wasted on a dog. I sneered. Ollie, didn't you say you didn't want to pass your illness to me before? Fine. Starting tonight, you can sleep on the floor. At night, I lay alone in bed, tossing and turning. Unable to sleep, Daisy after Daisy left. I didn't pour water or fetch medicine for Ollie anymore. All afternoon, he dragged his heavy body around, coughing gloomily. Even now, the cold floor is covered with a not-so-thick mat. Ollie coughed a few more times. Suppressing his voice, I felt extremely upset inside. I didn't understand why tormenting him would also make me uncomfortable. But who told him to get involved with my enemy? Ollie is truly pitiful. After some thought, I decided to give him another chance. Hey, Ollie. I stretched out my hand and poked him from the bed. He turned around and looked at me quietly. If you became very wealthy, would you let me live my former life? I cunningly shifted the probabilities, not directly mentioning reclaiming the family fortune. He and Daisy are a couple. What if he's unwilling to help me? I wanted to get his promise, poking his arm repeatedly with my fingertip. Will you or won't you? Ollie looked suspicious. Did he come looking for you? My expression went blank. No. Who came looking for me? Just as I was puzzled, Ollie climbed onto the bed and gloomily pulled me into his arms. Don't you dare believe Jordan's nonsense. Understand, Caroline, there's no such thing as a free lunch in this world. Jordan and I had a verbal engagement, and he's notorious in our circle as a playboy. People like him are only out for profit. So when I was kicked out, even with nowhere to go, I never thought of asking him for help. Why bring him up suddenly? Also, the meaning of the latter part, Ollie, he doesn't want to help me. I wasn't too happy. Turning my head to face him with the back of my head, stubbornly saying, if you don't want to help me, plenty of others will. Ollie pinched my chin, forcing me to turn around, his eyes dark with unreadable emotion. So Jordan wants to help you. Do you regret it and want to leave with him? What nonsense are you talking about? He pinched me until it hurt, and on top of that, he had been intimate with Daisy. I pried his hand away, my expression clearly displeased. Don't touch me with your filthy hands. Little did I know that after hearing those words, Ollie went berserk. He embraced me recklessly, his chest heaving violently, as if trying to crush me into his very flesh and blood. Dirty, then who isn't? Who do you want to touch you? He was already running a fever, his body temperature frighteningly high, burning so much it made me want to cry. I slapped his firm chest hard. Let go of me. Ollie pressed down on my hand, his breathing growing increasingly rapid. I struggled in vain, gradually growing fearful, my voice trembling with tears. Will you let me go, please? Ollie's trembling lips pressed against my forehead. Caroline, don't treat me like this. It was you who pinned me down. It was you who wanted to get close to Daisy, and now you're begging me. Ollie briefly kissed my forehead before releasing me, and once I regained my freedom, I slapped him hard across the face. Get out. Between me and Ollie, we've reached a complete deadlock. He's already with Daisy, yet he dares to fantasize about me. When have I ever endured such humiliation? If only I could become the young lady again. I stared intently at the bullet comments, not daring to miss a single piece of information. TSK, The supporting female character really doesn't know her place. The male lead just kissed her once, and she dares to hit him. Perfect. Now the male lead has even more justification to dump the supporting female character. Today's the day the male lead becomes someone she can never reach. Just one intersection away from the part-time job store. The male lead kindly saved his own grandfather who was nearly hit by a car. Such is the unbreakable bond of blood ties. I can't wait any longer. Turns out it was today. My heart leaped with joy. As long as I can seize this favor first, I can clear my father's name on my own. Ollie, no point expecting his help. To help me, you must suppress Daisy. Weigh the person you love against that meager favor on the scales. Without a doubt, Ollie wouldn't choose me, of course. I wouldn't interfere with Ollie acknowledging family ties either. Blood ties are there. Just introduce them when the time comes. After that, we'll go our separate ways. Ollie and your Daisy can fly off together. I couldn't care less. Thinking of this, I gave Ollie a smile. When are you going to work? Seeing that I was finally willing to give him a friendly look, Ollie also showed a slight smile. No rush. I'll wait until you finish eating and wash the dishes before leaving. When Ollie walked to his part-time job, I watched him go. I turned and hailed a taxi, heading to that intersection early to stake it out, as time ticked by minute. The panic and doubt in my heart grew deeper. Could those bullet screen comments just be bluffing? Do I really need to go all out like this? Until Ollie's figure drew near from the distance. An elderly man with silver hair also appeared at the intersection. He got out of the car alone and walked around the corner. The old man's eyes and brows bore some resemblance to Ollie's. As Ollie came closer, the old man inexplicably took a step onto the crosswalk against the red light. I held my breath and rushed forward as soon as the car emerged from the corner. Watch out. It wasn't just my voice. I pushed the old man aside. The car stopped just in time, and I only got a few scrapes. Ollie ran towards me frantically, his face deathly pale. Caroline, are you okay? I'll take you to the hospital right away. He was terrified, completely unaware of the elderly man staring at him from the side, and I was in Ollie's arms, trembling all over, not just from fear, just moments ago. I recognized this car. It was the very one the old man had just stepped out of not long before. I'm no fool either, and finally understood why everything had been such a coincidence. What kind of gratitude? It's just a play. It's over. Under the immense emotional turmoil, I lost all strength and completely fainted. I woke up in the hospital. Ollie has been keeping watch by my bedside. Seeing me open my eyes, they first handed me a glass of water, just as I was about to say I was thirsty. After gulping down the whole glass, I looked around and asked quietly, "Where is that old man?" Ollie's expression was complicated. He went back to the hotel first. I breathed a sigh of relief. After realizing it was all an act, I panicked. I want to make friends, not enemies. Now that I've ruined his plans, how can I still ask for his help? I lowered my head in disappointment. That old man said, "He's my grandfather." He originally wanted to take this opportunity to get to know me first and see what kind of person I am, but he didn't expect to accidentally hurt you. Ollie finished heavily, his gaze turning sharp as he looked at me. Caroline, so why were you there? Do you know something? I covered my head, filled with deep regret. I knew my bizarre behavior afterward wouldn't stay hidden, but I came here fully prepared to sever ties with Ollie. Anyway, there's no denying I saved his grandfather. Who would have thought it would all come to nothing? I might as well throw caution to the wind. Yeah, I've known all along. Did you really think I'd stay by your side otherwise? I could hardly contain Ollie from spewing the most venomous words. This time, I've truly lost everything. Now, he's definitely going to yell at me and then leave in anger. But he just asked me with red, unwilling eyes. So you've been using me all along. I forced myself to maintain my composure. Yes. He lowered his head in pain, stepped closer, and brushed his hand over the wound on my leg. Then do you know today's car accident was just an act? I stiffened my neck and remained silent. Ollie sighed. Caroline, what exactly do you want to gain? What's worth risking your life like this? I crossed my arms and sneered at him. I want my father's case overturned. I want my old life back. Living like this now truly feels worse than death. If I weren't no longer the young lady, could I be bullied like this? Ollie looked at me with eyes full of sorrow. All right. I'll ask my grandfather to do his best to help you. But, I have one last question. I felt a bit uneasy. Ollie often looked at me, intensely, obsessively, deeply, but he seldom felt sorrow. You ask. He stared at me intently. I want to ask, have you ever liked me, even just a little bit, as if stepping on a sore spot? I retorted loudly. How could that be? How could I possibly like a scumbag? Ollie said in disbelief. I'm a scumbag. His expression didn't seem fake. But I trusted what I said.
Caroline, because I'm not in the country right now. Only then did I realize, to have his grandfather help me. Ollie needs to go abroad for 3 years of training. That day at the hospital, the sorrow in his eyes was his farewell to me. Caroline, I was too selfish. I kept it from you because I was afraid you'd feel insecure. I sent him a voice message through tears. Ollie, how dare you lie to me? Just wait, tomorrow I'll dump you and find someone new. Ollie immediately called me, in a low, suppressed voice. Caroline, please, don't choose someone else. Could it be that we haven't seen each other for too long? Why does Ollie's voice suddenly sound so pleasant? Then I made Ollie confess his feelings to me verbally for an hour. Well, in short, that's how hard he is to appease. After his father returned, with the help of Ollie and his grandfather, he quickly made a comeback. Those who framed him met with bad ends, especially Daisy's father. Fortunes change, and this time it was Daisy who was driven out. Before leaving, Daisy attempted to take a pile of jewelry with her. I scoffed. What are you thinking? She retorted confidently. Caroline, don't tell me you'd actually want to use my second-hand stuff. I laughed. Idiot. Don't you think I could just sell it? Only after experiencing poverty did I truly understand the value of money. No matter how many times it's passed on, I will cherish it. This trick didn't work. So she rolled her eyes. I want to call Ollie brother. He'll definitely help me. I smiled and propped my chin to look at her. Do you know his phone number? Daisy stopped barking. Finally, I pushed Daisy out the door. Bye. Then I slammed the door shut right in her face. I hold grudges just like that. Ollie, it's been exactly a year since you left. At a cocktail party, I ran into my former fiancé. Jordan is now married, yet the woman accompanying him wasn't his wife. He approached me, raising his eyebrows greasily. Where's that sidekick of yours? I rolled my eyes, too annoyed to engage, but he only grew more obnoxious. He had a lecherous look in his eyes. That guy moves fast. Huh. I heard he's been supporting you all along. If you're okay with him, then with me, maybe. Jordan licked his lips. I splashed a glass of wine right in his face. If you don't have a mirror, at least you've got piss. It's all because of you, this toad, that I got misunderstood. After returning home, I rushed to complain first. Dad, Jordan harassed me. After hearing my tearful account, my dad said sternly, all right, Dad will take care of him for you. Since he's so slick, let's send him to Africa to manage oil field operations. Then he changed the subject. Actually, Dad has something to tell you too. You're about the right age for marriage, and I've arranged a match for you. My eyes widened in shock. Dad knew perfectly well how close Ollie and I were. I declared firmly, I refuse. Dad continued his pitch. Don't dismiss it so quickly. This young man's family has businesses abroad, and now he's back in the country to expand the market. Truly a rising star. The more I listened, the more uneasy I felt. Dad gave a mysterious smile and headed upstairs, until the long-lost person came out of the kitchen wearing an apron and carrying something. He had matured. His once youthful and brooding demeanor now softened considerably. The party's getting boring, Caroline. Want to grab some late-night snacks, originally planned for 3 years, but you're back in just 1, it must have been tough. That's what I thought, but I walked over with an air of reserve. I've taken a liking to you. I happen to need a lackey who can double as a cushion lately. What do you think? Ollie smiled and said, I couldn't ask for more. I threw myself into his arms and gave him a big, hearty kiss. Then this young lady will graciously accept you. The end.